to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through the industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And joining us live from London is our guest, Peter Taylor, business coach, and he's the founder of the Awakened Man, and he provides consultation, optimizes businesses, helps optimizing businesses, and sharing insights on resilience and mindset. Welcome to the show, Pete.
AJ, good to be here.
Thank you. You are welcome to the show. Welcome to India. I'm sure a lot of people, not just in India or in the UK, but a lot of people outside in the US and many other places will be able to benefit from what you will talk about. High performance, building a high performance team that drives high profits. Everybody wants high profits. So we'll be talking about that. What exactly, when you talk about Pete, you own several businesses, you are in a very comfortable position from the time that those were difficult times. We'll talk about that. What exactly is high performance in today's time? Because there is a lot of talk about work-life balance, and they are talking about high performance. Can it all go together? So just to understand from you.
I'd say actually to be a high performer in today's world is very easy. The bar is set extremely low, right? And to be a high performer, it doesn't take much to implement a couple of fundamentals for you personally and within a business to do exceptionally well, as long as you are consistent with it. And and that word consistency, is a buzzword. It buzzes around a lot, but it's spot on. If you follow a blueprint that is proven and you do that over time, then it can be inevitable that you'll get great results, right? So consistency in your health, consistency in using a proven system in a business. Over time, you're going to learn. As long as you adjust along the way, and as long as you learn from every mistake, like it's inevitable that you will start to see success. Where most people fall off here is that they fall off and don't get back on the wagon.
Right, Pete. So in terms of, you talk about protocol for peak performance, and that helps your clients done more in a day than more in a week. Is that high performance all about? And how do you pair that off with this? People say, getting burned out in the whole race towards achieving more in less time. How does that work? Help us understand that.
Yeah, I think my view on balance, on work-life balance, that's up to you. Like my balance will be entirely different to someone else's balance, and the way that I set up my work and my life it will be very, very different from someone else. Someone else will look at my life and go, Pete has no work-life balance. But for me, my work is my life, and I love that, and that's my passion, and that's my purpose, and I would happily spend all hours of the day doing that, and that's for me. But for someone else, that'll be entirely different, and they wouldn't want to lead a life like that. So like balance, like you choose your own balance, and it's up to you to create that. And to look at other people and say, yeah, I like those aspects of that man's life or that person's life and the way he runs his business over there. I'm going to take some of that, and I'm going to create my own balance and not necessarily listen to what everyone else is doing. So I think that's the first thing, is to come to your own decisions on that, like not feel the need to just follow the herd, and be your own man there and come to your own decisions. And then when it comes to like building high performance, and it absolutely starts with you. It absolutely starts with the founder of the business. It absolutely starts with the leadership team. Like if the founder of the business, isn't a high performing man himself or woman, for the ladies listening, then it's going to be extremely difficult to breed that culture throughout the rest of the business. Like everyone is looking at you. Your team members are looking at you. They're looking at every move. Everything you say, everything you do, your team will begin to mimic. You know, they'll see the times that you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it. And that, you know, that can range from a big thing all the way to a little thing. It can range from you saying that you're going to go down and, I don't know, whatever, like, pick up the post from the post office and then you don't do it, all the way through to you say that you're going to make a big business decision and then you don't do it. Right? Your team are looking at you. So that's, I think it's a core fundamental. Is it always starts with the founder, and it always starts with the founder being impeccable with his word. Does that make sense?
Yes, 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 indeed, Peak. So now let's understand, it a bit further. You talked about that. Okay, it all depends on the founder, and founders obviously want to succeed. But what about, and that is where the topic comes in, how to build a high performance team? How do you build that team which thinks like you? They may say they will certainly they share the vision of the founder, but how do you build such a team which thinks like you in these times of, again, this the great resignation and quiet quitting? So you may want the best, you may be ready for the long haul, but a lot of people want something else. They want much more of a different sort of a life. They want to take it a bit easy. How do you create that team? How do you choose that team? Because you can make mistakes, but it is very difficult to keep on changing and keeping up with new permutation and combination when you need to follow a particular path. You know much about businesses. Help us understand this.
So the key thing to understand here is that us as humans, we are goal-driven mammals, right? We like to push towards something, and when we're not pushing towards something, like it's difficult to really have motivation, right? And the word purpose gets thrown around a lot, and I'm not saying that like there needs to be some hardcore purpose in every individual team member that's running towards, like, it's working within your business, but for them to absolutely be on the mission with you is critical in the long term. Like in the short term, you can absolutely get away with ramping up the team every Monday morning and going, we're gonna crush the week, and we're gonna kill the week, and we're gonna hit the week, and let's make all the sales. And you can absolutely in the short term build momentum off of that. But as the team grows bigger, and as there's more, like, there's a little bit more, you want some more longevity within the business, there has to really be a common mission for the company, for you as the founder, for the business itself, and then for the individuals to be brought into that mission, right? And then the trick here, and I absolutely learned this in my previous business, is that if I can then have my team members individually contributing towards that mission, so they've got their own like mini projects that count towards the larger mission, then they are able to help. They've got their own goals, which is within the business, which counts towards the bigger picture, right? And so it gives them a motivation to come to work, right? And then to help build the business. And just on the word motivation there, like it's another one of those buzzwords that gets thrown around. Like motivate, you can't teach motivation. That's you can teach an ability, you can teach a skill set, but if someone's not motivated, then they're probably not right for your mission. They're probably not right for the business. You can't teach someone motivation. That has to come from them internally.
Right. So motivation is what? Self motivation or motivation towards your vision. Many a times they say, okay, a leader should create that sort of a motivation amongst their followers or the employees, that they are very able to align themselves with the vision. How does this word motivation and vision come together? And you say you cannot teach motivation. Then what is that sort of a motivation which cannot be taught, but this sort of motivation where you can align it with the vision of your company.
Yeah, well, if it's, let's just say that you have a mission for the business, and you are extremely aligned personally. You have to be extremely aligned personally with that mission. And as long as you are turning up day to day as a leader, and you are a leader of integrity, and you are driving the company forward, that's all you can do, right? And if, as long as the team members are being given opportunity to contribute towards that mission, if they're not on board with that, then they're not right for the business, and that's cool, right? That's absolutely cool. And there's probably another route for them in another company, but not yours. There's like I see this a lot when in my consulting, where the guys and the girls that I'll consult with are trying to carry people because they can see potential. So, oh, I can see potential in Karen. Like, she's great. I know she's got it. I know she's got it in her. I'm just going to keep working with her and keep like helping her progress, and just hoping that she's going to come through. And what we end up doing is we're all climbing our own mountains. Like, we've all got our individual mountains that we're climbing, but it's bloody difficult to climb the mountain when we've got people sat on our back. Like, we're not Superman, Superwoman, right? And it's extremely difficult if we are trying to carry people up the mountain. They should be by our side, not on our backs. And it's an important thing to, and it can be difficult decisions to make when you're running a business, and you like Karen and you can see potential in Karen, but if she's not aligned with the mission, she hasn't got that internal intrinsic motivation that she's bringing to work every day, then she's probably not right for the company.
Okay. Okay. What about discipline in terms of as a founder? And what is the role there? You talk about three types of discipline that a person needs to succeed. So help us understand, how do you get that discipline again into your business? Put that discipline also in your team for again high performance, because it means business growth as well as profits for you. And that is how you scale up. So help us understand this discipline part, how far you can yourself be disciplined. People say you have to live your life. So live your life for today also, or there is no life for founder and it is only for employees. How does that work?
Okay. I'm gonna start with this line, is that in life we get to pick one of two pains. We can pick the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Then it's entirely up to you which one you pick. But one of them needs to happen. And when it comes to discipline, like, and this is the starting place, is that it's awareness. Now, there are three forms of discipline to be aware of. The first form is reactive discipline. Okay, and so you want to master reactive discipline. And now, what reactive discipline looks like is this: it's moment to moment to moment. So in every moment, there's a stimulus, and then there is a response. And between stimulus and response, there is a gap. Before you make the response, right, there is a gap. And in that gap, you get to decide. It's really one of the only moments in life where a human has full capabilities to make a decision. Like, no one else can alter that. Like, you get to choose your attitude in that gap. And so that's when you can make a decision. That's called reactive discipline. It's how you react moment to moment to moment to moment. And these moments are very, very tiny. It's the moment from, do I pick up my phone right now and scroll and on social media? Do I turn on Netflix? Do I have the hard conversation? It's these moments to moments to moment. And or it's let's just say, like, one of my staff member comes in and says something to me, which could potentially trigger an emotion because it's pissed me off. Like, how I react in that moment is reactive discipline. So being aware of that, right? And then the more aware of this that you are, the better that you can become at reacting. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
indeed, indeed.
Okay.
Now, oh yeah, carry on, carry on.
I can talk about the second discipline.
Yes, indeed, indeed. That's what we need.
The second discipline is structural discipline. This is extremely important. Structural discipline looks like protocols, habits, routines, like your AM and your PM bookends. Lots of people talk about morning routines. That is a form of structural discipline, right? This is where most people, particularly men, mess up, is that they have a feeling that they're never going to die. They have a feeling that they're invincible, right? Or they have a feeling that no one's watching them, right? And because they've got this feeling that they'll miss the things that they're supposed to do. So they'll have, do you know what? I'll have a day off. Do you know, I won't do that thing I said I'm going to do, right? And that might happen in a minute. It might happen over a week. It might happen over a day. But moment to moment, you keep missing the things that you say you're going to do because you think no one's watching you. But the reality is someone is watching you. You are. Your soul is. Your psyche, whatever you want to call it. Every time that you miss a structure that you have set, that marks an imprint on your psyche. And you do that over and over and over and over again. And that does become who you are as a leader. Right? And so having structural discipline to say, right, this is the blueprint that I'm going to follow today to ensure that I'm a good leader, or to ensure that I'm going to get sales in the business, or to ensure that I stay on track with my health. And I've got a structure to follow. That's the easy bit, is creating the structure. The hard bit is following through with the structure. And doing so will create structural discipline. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
indeed. Now the third one.
Third discipline. This is the hardest one. This is called expansive discipline. Expansive discipline is being able to, in the moment and in your structures, not just react in the right way, not just have the right structures, but to, at the same time, so simultaneously think big, to expand, to play the power moves. This can be difficult for people that have internal resistance. Like internal, you've heard of like financial thermostat. I can only ever get to the million. I can't break the million. It's like that financial thermostat, that internal resistance, those beliefs internally, right? So expansive discipline is being able to think big, is being able to play the power moves, as well as being very, very structured, as well as being having reactive discipline, right? So you do all them at the same time, and you're beginning to master the 3 levels of discipline. You'll create just like momentum in your success, and you teach that to your team. There's a powerful team there on one concept of discipline.
Right, right, Pete. Now let's look at the mindset part of an entrepreneur. Somebody who is wanting to become an entrepreneur. A lot of people want to become entrepreneur. They want to be their own boss, so that they can succeed one day. Either have a very great company running by itself, or they have sold that company with all that money. They are having a good life at the beach, and they can be there wherever they want to go. You say the more successful you are, the more problems with you have. So why do you say that? That is going to puncture a lot of ambitions. For a lot of people who want to be entrepreneurs, are successful in that sense. So how do you put those two things? And secondly, when you talk of success and the problems, uh, a lot of people look at that success will come, and are afraid to actually look at success the way it is, and that is where imposter syndrome comes in. So how do you balance these two things at the same time?
I think the first thing is that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you're psychotic. You have to. You are like the path is not easy, and it's extremely difficult. And you'll go through emotions and tribulations that you would have not experienced in a like. I spent 15 years in corporate. I was in the corporate world for a long time. I had an amazing stint there, and I loved it. And I entered the entrepreneurial world, and wow, and but on the other side, like my levels of personal growth is 10x because I took that trip into the entrepreneurial world, right? It's not easy. It's not sunshine and rainbows. It can be, right? But even when you get to the sunshine and rainbows, because I have been there, and there are plenty of moments when I do have all those nice things, but there are levels to this game. And once you crack one level, you just got the next boss to kill. It's just and it's just bigger and uglier. And it might be, when you're starting off, it's a £10,000 problem that you want to fix, and you got the £10,000 boss that you need to go out and you need to fight. But when your entrepreneurial journey grows, it becomes £100,000, and then it becomes 1 million, and then it's 10 million, and then it's 100 million. It's all relative, right? The bosses just get bigger. But what should happen, and as long as you are open to this, is that you grow along with the journey, right? So your mindset and your resilience and the way that you are able to handle stress grows with the journey. And this is the next thing, is that it is relative. Like, I remember when I first started out, and I got my first £100,000 contract, and there was problems with it, and there was implications, and I had to deal with a lot. And my stress levels were 9 out of 10. Like, they were 9 out of 10. I had sleepless nights and so forth. I also remember when we did our first million, there was problems. Like, there was implications. I had 20 odd staff, right? I had loads of things going on. My stress levels were 9 out of 10. It's relative, right? So, but as you grow with the process, does that make sense?
Yes, yes, indeed. And then I talked about adversity and the imposter syndrome. That is why I earlier on mentioned with that. Actually, I want to ask about adversity and imposter syndrome. You have faced adversity early in life, and your childhood, and being with the physique of a teen, a preteen that you call yourself, and then you created a life for yourself, built up a better way and a physique for yourself, and then this is where you are. A lot of people who have not faced adversity, who have achieved a lot of success, they suddenly start questioning themselves, and that is where this term called imposter syndrome comes in. Why is it that you struggle so much in the childhood, you work you're so hard, and then you come up and live a very good life, you actually add something to others. But somebody who has been very consistent in their achievement still face this thing called imposter syndrome. Do you also face the same thing? How does this work, this sort of a mindset work? In fact, somebody who has faced adversity, they might keep on questioning themselves later on. Okay, I should be in that position and not in this position. What is it that they are always confident about? And why is it that people who have achieved a certain degree of success still continue to question them? How does this work? Uh, Help us understand this better.
There's many routes I can go here. I think the route I'm going to go is, let's call him the inner enemy. Let's call him, like, we can call him part X, the saboteur, the self-sabotager, the inner enemy, the guy or the girl that's in our head. The guy and the girl that's in our head that likes to keep us small, that likes to shout a bit of abuse at us, that likes to say, "Hey, Pete, stay in bed this morning. It feels nice in bed and it's cold outside. Don't get up early and go and train." And then when I do stay in bed, it then says to me a couple of hours later, "You idiot, Pete. Why did you stay in bed? You should have got out of bed. Why did you do that? It's the same guy. It's the inner enemy. And the inner enemy does like to keep us small. And so when we get to these like moments of success, and we've probably got the next level just in front of us. It's just within touching distance. We don't know it's there, but it's there. And then that inner enemy comes in and says, "Hey, you don't belong here, mate. You don't belong here, buddy. No, 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 no. What you need to do is take a little step back. Just relax, stay. But what's happening here is your brain is trying to keep you safe. Your lizard brain is kicking in and going, right, let's keep you safe right now. I want you to stay at this level. I don't want you to get any bigger because it's scary when we get bigger and more success because we've not been there before. We don't know we don't know what's on the other side. So don't do that. You don't belong here. Stay where you are, right? It's just our inner enemy trying to keep us safe. And for me, when the inner enemy comes up, and he comes up every day, he'll never leave. We can't get rid of the inner enemy. He's always there, right? But for me, when he comes up, I know that it's a sign. I know that this is a sign for me. Hang on a minute. If he's coming up, that probably means my next level of growth is there, or there's something that I need to do that's difficult, and I need to lean into that. I need to push into it and do the thing that I'm scared of doing.
Right, right. So, how do you push that inner enemy the next morning and go out to work and motivate your team to achieve the vision?
Discipline. Right? It's doing discipline is just doing hard shit. It's doing the hard things you don't necessarily want to do over and over and over again consistently. That's that, right? I don't necessarily want to train in the gym every day. It's hard. I put my body through pain. So it'd be a lot easier to stay in bed or just to watch TV. But I know that in doing something like that, it helps my physique, but more so helps my mental attitude. I don't want to have the hard conversations with team members. It's difficult. I like them.
Right. Pete, you are a business coach, so a lot of people come to you, and you have your company also. You're founder of the Awakened Man. So help us understand, about about Awakened Man. What is this all about? And then, as business coach, who are the type of people who can approach you for your help, for understanding how they can be successful like you?
Yeah, like the first thing I'm going to say is that if you've ever felt the inner enemy come to you, like if you've felt her or him enter your brain and try and keep you small, like try and if you've ever experienced that like self-sabotage, then like I have a resource for that, and it's like if you go to innerenemy.com, that's innerenemy.com, there is a 7-part audio series that will talk you through how to become aware of this and the tools around getting over this. It's very, very good. It will literally just drop into your podcast, and it's a private audio that you can listen to. So I would absolutely start there, and that's a large part of the work that we do at the Awakened Man. Is we help guys crush limiting beliefs. We help guys become high level and high value individuals, and then they go on to lead amazing companies, and they go on to lead amazing relationships. They go on to be amazing fathers, right? With kind of the programming and the coaching that we put in through the blueprint that we have created.
Right. And what is the best way to connect with you, to be able to, to learn from you and to also engage with you professionally?
One way is my Instagram. It's Pete_Taylor on Instagram. It is the best way to follow. I am very, very active. Every day I'm on there. Extremely active, showing all of my protocols and frameworks that I use in personal life and in business. So Pete_Taylor.
Absolutely. Absolutely. and Pete_Taylor on Instagram. And you have also underscored a lot of very important points to have the success to build up a great team for high performance and profits, discipline and discipline and discipline, and more things with that. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thanks, AJ.